Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Glass Academy. Today, we have with us architect Himanshu Suri, co-founder and senior architect at Architect Suri and Associates. The firm was founded with the objective of creating buildings which are both aesthetically refined and environmentally responsible. The firm's practice is driven by a solid foundation of design excellence, budget, and program control towards achievement of best value of architecture quality. Today, Himanshu Suri, the co-founder of the firm, is here with us, and he will be speaking on innovations in commercial interior using glass. Welcome, sir. We're delighted to have you here with us, and I'm sure our audience would also like to know more about you. So the stage is all yours.
Hi, a great greetings to Team Ethos, and it's a privilege to be associated with such a elaborate association that you have. I remember in my college days, I used to participate in the competitions that you used to gather in Ethos, and probably won a couple of them also. Yeah, it's a great privilege to be again back on your stage and platform.
Likewise, sir. And I'm sure the audience would love to hear more from you.
Yeah.
So we can start with the presentation whenever you
Let's begin. So yeah, with the continued webinar series with the underlying statement of sustainability, I am here to introduce you to innovative use of glass as a building material in interiors, and specifically interiors, because we've been very, the interiors relating to residential and hospitality has been very exploited. So we'll be focusing on commercial interiors per se and how a glass material as a material can be innovatively used there. Right. And definitely we would want to keep that underlying statement as sustainability, the need of the hour, and how do we go about it. So straightway, let's get ahead to the presentation wala part. Just a little brief about us. So got a good introduction on that. So we're going to skip it. So as we all know, glass is used as a building material, and it's most typically used as transparent glazing material in building.
Architect Himanshu Suri, I'm so sorry to intervene, but I can't see your presentation right now.
Let me, okay.
Yeah. We will remove this bit. We edit it out.
Yeah. Is this cool now? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, now I can see, yes.
Okay.
So the about Zoom box, it will be nice if you could. Yeah, this works. This works. Great.
Right, you getting a clear view out of it?
Yes. So you can start.
Okay. We are talking about innovations in commercial interiors using glass. As we all know, glass as a building material is most typically used as a transparent glazing material for the building envelope, including windows in the external walls. Glass is also used for internal partition as an architectural feature. When used in buildings, glass is often of a safety type, which include reinforced toughened glass or laminated glass varieties. So today we want to focus on how glass can be innovatively used in interiors and commercial interiors. So there are, as we know, different varieties to glass, and there is new product range coming up every now and then, and new varieties of glass available now and then. So if we talk about broad categories, we have textured glass, as you can see in the image. We can have tinted glass, there is lacquered glass, and there are different applications to lacquered glass. So the typology of glass basically depends upon its refinement and its post-processing. A tinted glass has a color tints to it, and we got beautiful hues of colors available in tinted glass. Lacquer glass is again a process where glass has a lacquer coating at one side, right? And the lacquer coating can be of different colors, can be white, black, gray, brown, as per the application and requirement we have. So there's laminated glass. Laminated glass primarily is, in addition to glass, is a lamination layer that we provide to it. So it can be done in different components. So there can be lamination sandwiched between two pieces of glass also. It can be a single side lamination glass, and it is mostly used as a security glass. Toughened glass, as we all know, gives the glass an ability to use large panes of glass in minimal thickness. So toughening is now I believe everybody is very well aware of this particular process. So toughening is basically soaking glass in high temperatures and then immediately cooling it down, which gives the glass an added strength of at least more than 70% strength to a regular float glass. Glass blocks is one material which has been there in the market since ages. So that is, yes, one typology of it again. So when we talk about commercial interiors and uses of glass in commercial interiors, so we can broadly discuss this topic in about four categories. So one could be using glass as a building material in itself. For example, as a space dividing element. So talking about glass as a building block material in replacement to wooden partitions or aluminum partitions or gypsum board partitions, or it can be brick partitions. So it can be very well used as a partition material. Glass being used in interiors for solar passive design, wherein heat reduction is one major aspect to it. Glass being used to add privacy, right? And glass being used, again, it has an aesthetic value to it. So we'll be discussing the uses of glass in these broad four categories. Glass being used as a space dividing element. So glass, if we talk about glass, it's, see, the basic property of glass is transmission of light, right? So glass can also be, is a very good replacement to a regular building material. Regular building material per se, as we said, you're building a partition or a space, or you're dividing a cabin or a room in interiors, wherein you would want to, have your own space, but your privacy also to be required, right? So it's a very good replacement in terms of sustainability as well. One, because glass itself has the least carbon footprint as compared to using brick as a building component, or a partition element such as wood or gypsum board partitions, right? So as walls are replaced with transparent glass, the office spaces or spaces become more open, and the employees and people are, able to communicate smoothly and interact with each other effectively. It uses very less space and consume less time for installation, and it's a dry construction. For example, if you are building a partition using a regular brick, so you have to again, cure the brick wall, plaster the surface, let it dry, and then paint it. It's a tedious process. It consumes lots of energy also. Wherein glass is a pre-built unit, it comes down from the factory, or you can cut it on site also if you're not using toughened glass, and you can directly install it as a partition element. So emphasizing upon the sustainability issue, where the glass addresses it very effectively, because rather than using brick or any other solid wall for partition in interiors, glass can link two different spaces together without the barrier of a wall. Manufacturing bricks, as you all know, causes topsoil erosion, or depleting forest cover. Using, even if we are using normal plyboards, they are consuming the forest cover. So glass is something which is fully recyclable. A broken pieces of shards, pieces of glass goes back to the factory for the production element. So it uses a complete cycle, and it's a recyclable material. It's good for environment, and the benefits such as contributing to the mitigating climate change, saving precious natural resources, and it can be modified into different forms, types, and can further be transformed and developed with new and advanced glass technologies. So yeah, there is quite a versatility of glass as, a sustainable material to be used. So when we're using glass as a space dividing element, it can also be used as a design element. For example, in a couple of projects, we've used lacquered glass as a partition and a divider screen, wherein the lacquered glass was, again, the partition screen itself was being used as a discussion panel or a discussion board. It helps to, conserve resources and looks a little modern, and then looks a little long lasting also. So yeah, this is one innovative use that we found, and we've been oftenly using lacquer glass for partition screens and as writing board altogether. So the next topic, or the next heading we were talking about, is the passive solar usage of glass. Glass effectively reduces the transfer of heat. So there's a specific built unit that comes in, which is commonly known as DGU, which is a double glass unit. It improves sustainability because it effectively reduces the transfer of heat. There's an argon layer between two pieces of glass. The insulating gas in the void between panels prevents heat from passing through. Simply put, this keeps our home cooler in summer and warmer in winters for reduced energy usage. And in addition, this double glass unit is also good to cut down noise pollution. On a couple of projects, we've been using DGU glasses, such as in banquet resorts and projects where there is loud noise outside, but we want a little more ambient sound insulation on the inner part. So yes, we've been using solar passive glass in both ways. So it's as we know, it's a great insulator of heat, and depending upon the design concept, that this particular glass can provide an integrated solution to a design problem. So yeah, we all know glass is for its transparency perfectly fine. Glass being used in interiors, it really adds on to the effect that you are saving a lot of daytime running lights. You are conserving a lot of energy. But okay, understood. When there is transparency, there is a lot of light, there is a little issue with privacy also. So there's a project that we did. It's a co-working space wherein we wanted privacy with our cabins, and we were using a singular source of light to lit up the whole space. Herein, we used glass and we used vinyl film in a good graphic design pattern throughout the partitions. It aided us, there's a lot of light in the cabins, but yes, at a privacy level, there is privacy and independent space ability also in the cabins. One of the most obvious benefits of glass in interior design is the ability to allow natural light. A well-lit space improves our, psychological well-being, and also makes building energy efficient. Privacy, and how can we aid privacy in using glass? There is this particular type of glass in its constant manufacturing. It's a very old traditional type of glass, which is again, back in rage, which is the ribbed glass, which is commonly called, or textured glass or fluted glass. So it can be used as a decorative element or can provide visual privacy to a space. In our own office, we have this particular partition dividing a cabin and the common waiting area outside. We did not wanted to cut down on light, but we did, yes, specifically wanted little privacy also. So we use texture glass here in the corner. So it allows the light to pass through, but you cannot see figures across the glass. Again, in this particular office, we've been using a lot of glass partitions throughout. So here, visual privacy to a space was provided using graphics on the doors. Again, so this is another example in addition to the co-working space that we showed you earlier. So herein we used, again, it's a university office. So they use a lot of graphics and their own advertisement panels on glass. So these are vinyl stickers. These are not opaque per se, so they do allow light to pass through. But yes, there is a visual barrier also. Coming to the aesthetic aspects of using of glass, yes, glass enhances the visual experience of a space. It creates an illusion of more space, allows outside features to be part of the interior design composition, and helps to conserve energy. So as we commonly call it in a lot of design presentations here and there, yes, glass is one element which allows and brings outdoors into indoors. So it has commonly allowed designers to create and augment spaces that link the outdoors in, and floor to ceiling height glass windows, for example, allow for a smoother transition between interior and exterior spaces. In a particular project, we used French doors, and these French doors were combined, and they were like openable, and they were sliding folding panels. So beautiful evenings, this particular veranda was overlooking a lawn area, and evenings were when it's breezy and it's little cooler in summers. So we were able to open these doors and let the whole space become one. So glass, there are a very common variety again we didn't touch is the mirrors. So glass material works in the same way as mirrors. The amount of visual interest that a glass feature can add to a building is undoubtedly impressive. It evokes an impression of elegance and sophistication without excessive decor. So glass panels, not your regular silver glass panels. You can have mirror panels in golden tints, in copper tint, and can be effectively used in your wall paneling designs, which also aids, to the visual experience of a space and also increases the depth of a particular volume. So whether you want to have a stylish glass partition wall or a small coffee table, it can transform the space and pull the overall visual appeal of the interior space harmoniously. So this is again one of the examples of usage of glass. So the use of glass in interior spaces leveled up the quality and effectiveness of communal spaces such as workplaces, educational facilities, and commercial establishments. So in a particular office, we use toughened glass partitions, and to conserve the wastage and to avoid the wastage of glass, we use the effective size available in the factory is about 8 feet high. So 8 feet high glass panels were used without any wooden partitions and installed in a smaller area, which is very narrow, to create office cabins. As in these two images, these office cabins fall part of a corridor, which again doubled up as a workstation area. So it gives an illusion that the space is a little bigger. Yeah, so that is about we close with the innovative uses of glass in interiors. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Architect Himanshu, for
I
that.
hope it was not too quick, or was it like, I really believe it was informative and not too quick, was it?
No, I think it really seemed like that perfect guidebook for every architect or designer who kind of wants to use glass in a commercial building.
Yeah,
So you really incorporated all the points. And I actually had a few questions that I wanted to ask you about it.
yeah.
So like you have an extensive design portfolio and your firm has worked on many commercial projects. So has there ever been a project for you in which incorporating glass became a challenge? Like maybe because of the client requirements or because of the context? And how did you tackle that?
See, client requirements or the context never per se pushes you to use a specific material or not use a specific material. A particular selection of material comes with your design concept and the design ability also. Yes, there have been projects where a building component such as glass was not a very dominating element, such as we've done a bookstore, and that particular bookstore had a lot of shelves,
Hmm.
a lot of partitions which were done in wood, as the most effective material. But yes, a lot of glass was not particularly used. But we do prefer to use glass in different combinations, wherein we would want to give a depth to a space, right? And we would want quicker construction, and also glass as a building material nowadays, it's a cheaper and a quicker solution than using your wooden partitions.
Yeah. So like mean and as you said, that is a criteria for choosing when a glass needs to be put in a project. But there are so many different types of glasses. So how do you decide in which glass needs to come for this project, and what are those parameters for you?
It can be anything. It can be your design concept. Yes, that is one primary base for it. But the types of glass or the color of glass comes with your design concept. And effectively using of, see, if you have a bigger palette of the variety of glasses, so you've got ribbed glasses, you've got toughened glass available, you've got tinted glass available, you've got lacquered glass available. There are mirrors and so many colors available in the market and readily available in the market.
Yeah.
It comes out, you love to play around with these materials.
Hmm.
And contextually what goes where, it evolves with the space. So we've never taken a conscious decision, okay, this is a particular type of glass and we would want to use it here and want to use it here. No, it evolves with the overall process. Very effectively, we've been using lacquered glass as tabletops, and it really adds on to that clean sheen look. And a simple 3 thick lacquered glass looks beautiful as a tabletop. So we've been using it very effectively. Ribbed glass or the texture glass, which is quite commonly available these days, it's a beautiful piece that we found this far. Aiding, it really gives you that sense of privacy, and it really adds on to the interest and for the user what's going across the other room.
Yeah.
You can see the figures, but you can't clearly make out who's there. So as a privacy element, we've been using a lot of partition screens in houses also, divider screens between dining and lobby areas, or in commercial areas, we've used ribbed glass in showroom facades and showroom windows, where you would want to partition out a little area for privacy and then use the other part of it like a normal tough and clear glass.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that. It brings into perspective on how glass can be decided. So my next question is, we often see various new kinds of glasses, like the ones with switchable transparency being used in projects abroad. So in terms of innovation, where do you think the designers in this country stand?
In terms of innovation, I feel we are very aggressive. There are different platforms that we approach, and we get to meet a lot of young designers coming in. So the kind of innovation that is coming around in the market is amazing. All across the country, I would not say the north region is doing well or the south region is well. No, everybody contextually is doing amazing work. I've seen people out of Kerala. I saw a project, a designer out of Kerala. He designed a, a small villa on a hilltop using bamboos and just glass. I still cannot take that image out of my mind. I still have it. I saw it in a design conference that we had. I saw that particular house that he designed on a hilltop with bamboos coming all across. So just bamboo and only glass. So today's technology and the innovation which comes on with that technology is really giving a lot of different design solutions, in terms of sustainability. So glass, we've been using glass in hills. We've been using DGU glass in hills. It really helps in throughout the day to gain that solar heat, right? And it helps in to retain that heat throughout the night. So earlier with normal plate glasses, it wasn't possible. And now with this particular segment being readily available in the market, innovations, they come across with the solutions.
So like you talked about sustainability, and I personally feel it is a factor that needs to be considered, right? One is designing a building. So for your firm, is that a conscious choice that you're making all the time, that you need to incorporate sustainable measures? And what all strategies, especially in terms of how you're using the glass, um, how are those strategies that reduce the negative environmental impact on the built environment?
This is one topic that we've all been talking about a lot, and we've been talking about it during our college days, also during our research days, or when you start working. This is one topic which has been this one particular word, sustainability, that comes across a lot. But I feel your sustainability starts with the first line that you start drawing on a paper for your project. If you start following your climatology subject very well, you design your particular, if you are understanding your climate zones and you're designing your buildings with your climate zones and the kind of materials that you are using with the building zones, it's really aids. So yes, be it conscious or a subconscious decision, this is one important aspect that is definitely there in even a small cafe. If we are designing a small cafe as in interiors, this aspect is definitely there. It is not subconscious anymore. It is a conscious decision. Even if the client is not asking for it, you are doing it in a manner wherein it adds to the project aesthetically and practically both. So yes, sustainability is a one important criteria. In a lot of projects, it is a compulsory addition also. Okay. It's a government bylaws also now that you have to add on sustainability. So giving you a small example, so if we are designing an IT building, Yes, you cannot do it like a shut envelope. You have to have lots of glass that gives it a nice modern sheen look. But I'll be a stupid fellow if I am designing an IT building in a composite climate like ours in North India,
Yeah.
right? And designing with the Western face as a glass facade, it's a suicide. It's a tough job. Even a DGU glass panel cannot cut out that harsh heat,
Yeah.
right? So if you are understanding your movement of sun and you understand your subject of climatology well, which is a major part of subject during your education, you are way through with your sustainability aspects to your design.
Yeah, I mean, clearing all the basics at your education level itself, I think that is something I agree with.
Yeah,
So thank you so much, Architect Himanshu. On behalf of Glass Academy and on behalf of Ethos, I would like to thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. We will connect with you for further questions if you receive from the audience, and we'll have them on the website too. Thank you so much.
definitely. The pleasure is all ours and look forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.